I just want to tell you I'm a serial entrepreneur, youth worker, media maker, and just keep on taking a look at where the world needs me and where I should be next, and I seem to go there and do it. So I've just been led here to work with all of you, and I'm just really honored. I also want to tell you that I think that the world is in a bit of trouble and needs our help, seriously. So in a second, right now, I just want you to look around the room at each other. Just turn around, look at each other, check out who's here. You can turn all the way around, look around. Okay, a lot of times we're not even aware of who's even in the room with us, who's sitting here, right here and now. Another thing I want to start with is just really being quiet for a minute and listening to the room. And now listen to who's listening. Did your awareness change? When you listen to who's listening, there's suddenly something else that happens. So I have learned after many, many years of working in prisons and with young people in Appalachia and in Iraq and Iran and all over the world, that really when you feel, when you give form to feeling, do things change. When you really open up wide enough to not be afraid to listen differently, and also most importantly, step out of your comfort zone. I mean, I have been in prisons with young people, and you know, you kind of say, "Hi everybody, would you come and make a circle?" And it's like, "No, I don't think so." And then you think, if you know what you're going to do when you get out of this room in prison, can you please come stand next to me? And I get a perfect circle just like that. Think differently. Think out of the box. We're so taught to do this way. When you let yourself have permission to think differently, amazing things happen. So my story first is founding the group, the City Kids Foundation. After working in prisons and doing conflict resolution through drama, I ended up deciding that unless I had young people from all different backgrounds in the room, so I got kids from Harlem, kids from Chinatown, kids that were going to Harvard, kids that were taking everybody out the back door, and I put them in one room and I said, let's work together, let's think together, let's produce together, and engage them. And one thing that someone told me, if you think of your brain as feathers, and a wind comes, and when it blows it up, it resettles in a new way of seeing. Now just think about that. Something happened to a group, and you're seeing differently. So how do we do that with each other, and how do we feel each other differently? And City Kids now is almost 30 years old, and you know, kids go to college with a white kid going to college with a black person in a picture, and they say, "Who's that?" He goes, "That's my brother." No, really, who is that? "No, that's my brother." Because we felt each other, we met each other, and we crossed boundaries. So that has always been my question, is how do you really bring people together? And all of a sudden, I was able to get a Rockefeller Fellowship. I had 3 babies at home, and I went to South Africa. I worked with Mandela. I sat down, and I said, "Hi, I'm Laurie." It's the first time I've sat down in 18 years. I never sat down with a group of adults that weren't kids. And I learned so much about issues of globalization. But one of the things that changed my life, I showed somebody, I was in Cape Town, showed them my little City Kid tape. I saw a tape, and it had a person in Soweto in South Africa at nighttime with a TV set talking to a group of kids in Philadelphia. And they were going, "Oh my God, what kind of dances you do? Can you show us?" And the kids were doing the Macarena, and the kids in Africa were doing a dance. And I was like, "You could do two-way television? Are you kidding me? You could do this?" So I ran back to America like I had the Holy Grail. I thought I did. And I said, "Look, you could do two-way television. We could bring people together from all different backgrounds." And do you know what the Americans said? Americans aren't interested in any of that. And then the World Trade Center fell down. And I did have the Holy Grail in my hand. So we called it Chat the Planet. And like any innovator, you have to have an idea, think completely differently, and be passionate and never take the word no as a possibility. No is not in your language. If the doors are locked, climb out the windows. You know, go figure out how to make it happen. So I got lucky. I met the woman that created Barney the purple dinosaur. And she said, Laurie, I tune into 2-year-olds. You know that purple dinosaur that sings? Did you ever see Barney? It's a big American, yeah, Barney. So I met Cheryl, who created Barney, and she gave me $1 million to create Chap the Planet. So we went to work, and we connected a group of young people in South Africa to America, in Jordan to America, in Australia. And it was really about how do you experience and feel worlds outside your own? How do you really, really, truly get to know each other? And can you really have a dialogue on television? And you know, it was before the internet. This is going back a while. We had ISDN lines, satellites. Satellites were expensive. It was like clicking $300 a minute. There wasn't the technology that there is now. But my God, we made a television series that aired in, I don't know how many countries, let's see. Yeah, the concept was, what if everyone knew everyone? And we aired in 290 million households all around, got MTVU involved. And the concept was, how do you reach young people 15 to 25 in authentic, unscripted material? And I want to tell you one of the stories before I show you a clip that changed my life. We had a group in Jordan and a group in America. And the opening of the show, and this is through the satellites, a young kid says, my grandmother was killed by an Israeli soldier, and she was just trying to save a 5-year-old. And in America, a young person said, well, yo, man, my brother, he's in Kuwait. And every time the door opens, I think he's going to blow up. And you know what happened? Humanity walked in the room. There was this quietness in 2 different locations across the world, and something was felt differently. I'll show you what happened in Iraq. You could show the clip now. You guys have it? Yeah. He's putting it on, the DVD.
Do you know how it feels to see your young brothers crying in the night because of the sound of the bombs? I mean, that's a terrible feeling. None of us deserve to go through these feelings, neither the Iraqis or the Americans or anyone. Kicking out Saddam was a good thing, but the way they did it, it wasn't the right way. Do you guys really think that what your army did here in Iraq was the ideal solution for the problems that Iraq has been suffering from under Saddam's regime? Was it the ideal solution? A war?
We just hear promises. Now we are without electricity. We are living just like another century.
Has the war affected your lives?
Compared to your life, our life hasn't really changed. And for that reason, I don't know what to say.
There wasn't supposed to be a war because you can't punish 26 million people for one person. Saddam is not Iraq. You can't punish Iraq for Saddam. That's not right.
For me, my problem is that I don't know what to do. I would love to help you. I would love to do something, but I can't. Like, alone, I can't do anything.
Why do you think Bush came to Iraq?
Bush came to Iraq because he felt like Saddam Hussein was dangerous.
Why is all the ministries destroyed except the Ministry of Oil?
Well, I think that makes sense because the economy is based on petroleum. I mean,
don't try to twist things.
The oil supply needs to be, protected.
Just the oil supplies? Do you think oil is just the most important thing?
Well, economic resource. It's necessary to build.
More important than people?
Your cousin has been killed by these American soldiers.
All these holes been through him, full of holes. I mean, just look, the blood, look.
You're losing someone you love. He's my cousin.
It's not very cheap. He's so expensive for me.
My cousin became a cost of war, so he's the cost of a freedom.
Do you feel that you have freedom now?
No.
Well, some sort of freedom.
No.
At least.
Are you guys mad at the American kids or people like us? Do you hold us responsible?
No, we're not, of course because we got nothing to do with this.
You know, some guys are saying the war is over now. Only one side of the war was over. It's a war of bombs. The civilian war just started now.
Here in America, because we're not suffering like you guys, it's very easy to forget the huge suffering that you went through. And even I forgot the huge suffering that you guys went through. And I want to say I apologize.
We said that this is a bridge from Baghdad to New York. What are you going to do to help us to build this country? What are we going to do? Together.
Is really stunning. You know the one guy who said, I apologize to you? He was like, let's bomb them in the beginning. I just think we should bomb them. Then he started flirting with the girl that was pretty, the J-Lo looking girl. And, and he's going like, oh, I think your hair looks so nice. I thought there was no electricity. It's like, you gotta be kidding. But you know what? That's where it began. It began because we met each other. Now this group met each other right when it started. We started bombing, like the week before. And they literally changed. We also went for MTV to Kent State, Ohio, and University of Baghdad. Now, mind you, then they met a week later. Now, imagine, because they met while the war was going on, imagine these American kids. Wasn't there a different experience going on of their friends there? They were all of a sudden concerned. They were feeling something. Talk about empathy. Using media to feel what someone else is going through, it is stunning. Now, the other thing about us as producers, we didn't know the people we were producing with. We met them online. They were young Iraqi, Baghdad filmmakers that have now become my dearest friends. And we have won awards with them. But for 2.5 years, they were our teams across the world that we did not meet, except co-producing. So we produced this series together, and then suddenly we're seeing that everyone was deciding in Baghdad, should I stay or should I go? So we decided to do a new television show, should I stay or should I go? Went out to Hollywood to try to sell it. Nobody would touch it. And I even brought some of the Iraqi producers back with me. And, you know, it's funny, they came out and they were like, oh my gosh, that's like Die Hard, happened there. And their references were all the American films, you know, so they're in Hollywood. And even the custom agents weren't sure whether they should let them in. Like, well, we're at war with Iraq. Oh no, we're on your side. Oh yeah, come on in. It was very bizarre. No one knew how to even treat these young people that were coming into our country. So we could not sell these shows anywhere. No one would touch it. American policymakers, American producers, heads of network were meeting the Iraqis and saying, I just want to tell you, I'm really sorry there's a war in your country, but I can't put it on TV because it won't be rating, it won't have ratings. It won't have ratings? Nobody was saying that the life of the everyday Iraqi was the greatest untold story of the war. And that's what we were doing. So we created the concept called Hometown Baghdad. We took 3 young Iraqis, we followed them for 3.5 months, we lived with them, their houses were bombed in the night, we relocated together, and across the world we created a TV show that won 3 Webbies, was the head of Nightline on every news in the world, on the Today Show, all because these young people took risks in their lives to show you their workings. And I know our time is going, so I want to show you that last bit. This is a piece from Hometown Baghdad, and what you will get is, yeah, I was saying that it was everywhere, and this is what also changed my life. A young person from San Francisco called my office and he said, You know the guy Saif in the show? I want to go visit him. And he went to Syria and lived on his couch that summer. Imagine that media could do that with each other. So here is a piece of, and I hope this works, Hometown Baghdad. Oh, come on. Okay, I need your help again. What happened? There you go. Needed your magic touch. You'll hear a little bit. You'll hear a little bit of sound. It's because the generators were on when the electricity would go down.
My second son.
Oh, this isn't it.
I like him as I like all my kids. They are all very good assistants. He used to sit with me when he was young on the table near me while I'm cooking, and he used to learn how to do things. Ask me always.
She's the best cook ever. You can never find a woman like her cooks the way she cooks.
So much. So always he encouraged me for everything I do.
Very much. Both of my parents are doctors. I got brother who's older than me, and I've got younger sister. We live as a family in one house.
We always discuss what happens during the day, and that's enough.
يعني هاي منشورة مزعجة. يعني ولد هو من ذيك المنطقة يعني يقول منشورة بالضبط أنه تقول المي بارد والثلج الخلط بين الخيار والطماطم. In some areas now this said it's forbidden because of some radicals, and now we are eating it. ممنوعة أو محرمة خلينا نقول أي من قبل دول المتطرفين. كافر يمكن خارج عن الدين الإسلامي.
Okay, it wasn't the exact one I want to show you, so let me go back to one more and see if we could get the other one. It's called Iraqi Man. You have to go back to the tape. But what happened from that is 3 million people started following the lives of these everyday Iraqis. We released it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And when we could not, I was pushing to try to sell this on TV. A board member said to me, stop pushing, create a pull. So we said, I went to my staff, I said, guess what? No more TV show, we're going to do 38 short webisodes, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're going to release them. We're going to get Huffington Post against Salon.com, 24 hours exclusive. And then we went to 150 bloggers. So on the marketing of this, the whole thing blew up because all of a sudden, everyone was watching what is happening to the lives of these people, and they felt connected. And that was the heart of empathy, a heart of really caring, because I saw what you were living through during this time called war. We got it? We'll try this. If this is an Iraqi man, then please be it.
I will show you this sculpture. Its name is Iraqi Man. You have to come over here, but this is the Iraqi Man. You can see there is no symmetrical face. This has a swelling, and this one has atrophy, and you can see no eyes, and the neck.
He's very thin.
Yeah, thin, too much thin.
And he's sleeping on a rock.
Yeah, his pillow is that stone. And he's resting on a stone that's crashing his head.
And he's the Iraqi?
Yeah, this is Iraqi man. My father had many hobbies, and he made many sculptures. About 2 meters high, and rails around him. Always he's fixing his garden, and it's a field of work that doesn't finish yet. Most families trying to let out of Iraq. But when a person is living 67 years, just like my father, he can't leave his country. He loves his country. Yeah, he loves his country. But you know, we have to leave Iraq, as I'm a young man. So I'm going to Egypt and stay about 1 year there to get the hell out of here. As you
This is your bag. How do you feel leaving Iraq? Maybe we'll see each other in far future, or maybe we'll never see each other.
Unfortunately, I think it's a hard thing because all friends are suffering from such thing. You are so dear to me, and I think when two people have such harmony, then it's difficult, quite difficult to leave each other. I don't like to say goodbye to you because it's a bad thing. Yeah, we have knew many girls from this song.
اشوفك على خير. لا بس والله بصراحه يعني صدق تضحك بس لا نشاور بس لا احنا وين نسوي نشاور؟
ما ادري. بجهنم حبيبي يلا
يلا
سلام.
What do you want to say to the people who will see this footage?
All people in the world have been created by God. We are breathing the same air and drinking the same, no, I think not the same water. Anyway, I just want chance. And many people here just want only a simple chance to improve themselves.
Thank you.